I don't know what it is about Corpus and turkey legs. They
We love
love turkey legs.
It's
bro.
true.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
Like it's like
It's true.
first thing that even when like when we do chicken plates or we do pulled pork,
Mm-hmm.
first thing you got turkey legs. I'm like, no, oh, man. I'll come by next time and see if y'all got turkey legs.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
we got chicken plates. I don't want to turkey.
Oh, turkey.
So I mean, shout out to Corpus, man. They I mean,
Is it
they
difficult
love
to
turkey
have,
legs.
is it difficult? Because we were talking last time, like you were saying, the pulled pork is a little bit easier to get out. Is it just as hard for the turkey legs like the chicken as opposed to cook them all? You know what I mean?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
no, it's like I said, maintaining your fire to make sure you keep it hot
just
enough to cook
going.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, I just over the years, I mean, I'm just like, what is up with Corpus and turkey legs?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I mean,
it's true, bro.
don't- you know,
It makes. I'm thinking about the jazz festival right now because
Yeah.
my aunt helps volunteer. She's been doing it for years, but every time I go over there, I mean, I'm always looking for where the turkey legs, and I know exactly where they're at. A friend of hers actually, he's the one that has his pit out there. He does them all the time out there. Tony, that's his name. He's the one that does the turkey legs out there, where we usually go to the jazz festival. But yeah, definitely, we're crazy for the turkey legs, bro.
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome. So kind of wrapping this up, we got a few more questions. Personal lessons. What's the biggest life lesson you've learned through all of this? Because you got the boxing gym, you got your pit. You're influencing a lot of people. Would you say that there's something that you've already shared several stories, like, but I guess nothing that you've learned. Have you shared anything that you've learned? I can't think
I'll
back.
tell you what, man. You know what I mean? With having the boxing gym and then doing these fundraisers, these benefits, man, I've learned how to really care about people, right? Care about their feelings, especially like, when it's like I said, go back to, when we do these benefits for, these young kids that are dying, you know what I mean? It's, I've learned to be a better person knowing that I can treat somebody better than probably somebody would treat me. Right. You know what I mean? So, and everything that I've learned that's up to this is I could put it towards the fact that it's helped me be a better father, a better grandfather, just, a better person, period. Because before, it was just, I was into the party scene, and I was, I wouldn't care.
More selfish, right?
Selfish. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And, now I understand what the word selfless means. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I mean, I don't, I don't just, how can you say, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to put it the way I wanted to understand, but, I just learning how to be selfless just taught me how to be a better man. Right. You know what I mean? Have I been a bad person before? Absolutely. I mean, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? We're creatures of habit, right? We've gone through our trials and tribulations in life. And, now it's just, my life lesson is just how can I continue to stay healthy enough to keep helping people? You know what I mean? And how can I help people understand that you can do this too? I mean, and like today, I mean, there was a guy that was just like, hey man, I've never met you. I've heard so much about you. Can I start coming in to help? Absolutely. I ain't never gonna tell you, more people the merrier. So when I hear people say like, man, you've helped me, overcome, being selfish and wanting to help more. You know what I mean? Like that, when I would have never thought about it, you know what I mean? He goes, but I've known you, I've seen, your path. And, I'm like, well, damn, if he can change, I can change. You know what I mean? So, and then also too, just, you know what I mean? Standing up and not being scared to speak out, you know what I mean? On things that us men go through as well, you know what I mean? Like that, because like we talked last time in the last podcast, you know what I mean? There's, there's men that still hold everything in and scared to talk about it. You know what I mean? And now and I used to be that guy. You know what I mean? We hold everything in because we come from a different cloth of, oh, you're not supposed to let nobody know your business,
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes, me and you can carry a conversation that, I don't know what you're going through, but you sit there and tell me like, man, I see what you're doing, and man, that's inspired me, you know what I mean? To be a better person, or this and this and that. And I want to get involved and I want to start helping you. Come on. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Like, try it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying this for everybody, but you know what I mean? That's,
Yeah.
something that can, just, it's baby steps, because it didn't happen overnight for me to get to where I'm at right now as far as helping people. Like, I took a lot of losses along the way. You know what I mean? I took a lot of losses along the way, but now, it's going in a positive direction. You know what I mean? A lot of people, the community of this is getting a lot bigger than I ever expected to get. You know what I mean? So
Amazing.
just looking at all that, those are the life lessons that I feel that I've learned to help me be the better person that I am today.
Yeah. It helps.
You know
It
what I mean?
changes you. If you could go back, what advice would you give your younger self?
Quit being hard headed, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, those, now that I go back and look, I mean, there was a lot of people in my life that try to steer me the right way. But, I was born in the late 70s. I grew up in the, you know what I mean? I went through the 80s, survived the 90s, you know what I mean? And, it was, we're just hard headed, man. We just, so if I had, if I could go back, 30 years and just be like, hey, look, dude, there's a light at the end of this tunnel, man. I can bring you back to it if you could help yourself be that better person, so that you knew when you got here, you skipped all this negativity in between.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean, you have to want it, you know what I mean? And I'll probably slap myself around a couple times, you know what I mean, if I can go back, but it's and I think about that a lot too, you know what I mean? Like, man, I mean, I should have been thinking like this a long time ago. But we're creatures of habit. I say this all the time. We're creatures of habit, and we that, like that saying, right? You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
You got negative people around you, that's all you're gonna think about. You got positive people, you're gonna think positive. You know what I'm saying? And it's not healthy for anybody to always be negative about something. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably one of the things I'd beat myself up, slap myself around a little bit, let you know, like, hey, man,
Right.
snap out of it.